Hey, Dr. Karen here. And look, I am excited. This is another episode of the Sister Leaders Podcast. And we don't bring no junk up in here. We got a sister leader that we just cannot get enough of. And so, her full bio is attached to this video. So I don't do a whole lot of introducing. We're just going to introduce her by name. And then she going to tell us what she does in this space called life. So, Precious. Killer Pitch Master Williams on deck. Tell the Sister Leaders Podcast community what you do in this space called life.
In this space called life, here's what I do. I teach entrepreneurs how to write their own paychecks. I teach some of the sales teams of some of the biggest companies in the world, like sales training, tactics, and techniques. I'm known as the Killer Pitch Master because of what? Train speakers, entrepreneurs, C-suite executives, truly how to slay all competition. More importantly than that, I'm happy to be 45 years old and to have been doing this for almost 30 years, since I was 16 years old. To become the Killer Pitch Master and to become a 13-time National Elevator Pitch Champion, to be on Shark Tank, to have my clients funded on Shark Tank, to host a show on Fox Business, and now teach on rainmaking, to take my attorney background and marry that with entrepreneurship and show that there is life after things go wrong. There's life after people have given up on you, and that your entrepreneurial journey, your intrapreneur journey, your need to really show up and show out in a totally different way is what I've had to do my entire life. And it's great to finally be in a space where my name carries weight because there are real results attached to my name. Being an international professional speaker, top Fortune 100 corporate sales trainer, five-time #1 bestselling author, 3 billboards in Times Square. I live in New York City and I get flued out like an Instagram thotty, but I'm actually training and teaching all over the world. Black on both sides, no Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs, and a world-class master communicator who's been in movies and documentaries around the world. And that little girl from the hood of St. Louis that no one believed in. It's so good to be 45 or to enter my 40s knowing who I am and whose I am. I don't begrudge anyone. I'm not in a competition with anyone other than who I was yesterday. And that feels good.
I love that. And look, Sister Leader, you done said a mouthful there. But I love how you just roll down those receipts, because here in the Sister Leaders community, we look for receipts. And if we ain't no fake social media experts here, we know that the people that we bring onto our community got a track record, and it's not just a track record, but it's a verifiable track record. And so what you say is gold to us. You mentioned a phrase that I was unfamiliar with, and Lord knows I follow you like stalking. Tell me about rainmaking. Is it rainmaking? Is what you said? Tell me a little bit about that. I caught that. That was new to my ears. I was like, I think I'd have missed something. So expound on that.
Yes. So, when I graduated from law school, passed the bar on my first try, I was at Sullivan and Cromwell, which is one of the top firms in the world, and especially, New York City, right? And when you go into these law firms, you'll hear the word rainmaking. And I don't think I knew what it was. I'm first generation, but it's the ability to gain clients, to gain customers, and to have them keep coming back. Now, I wasn't a rainmaker at the firm because I was just doing good work. And I thought, because this is what I had been told, if you do good work, you're going to move up the ladder. That is not true. That's like G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle. I only knew half of the battle. The other half is being able to package, position, and pitch yourself. So all of us, whatever industries we're in, we think by going to industry events, that's going to help. It's like, no, you have to get outside of your industry, because there are going to be people, especially if you're an entrepreneur, who've never heard of your skill set, your talent, and your abilities. Packaging. How do you show up at live events or even, podcasts and interviews? It is very important that I show up and look the part of the Killer Pitch Master, and that I have a signature way from hair to clothes to makeup and all of these things. You know what that does? When you add packaging and then packaging, makeup, all that kind of stuff, positioning. Are you average, random, and ordinary? Are you mid-tier or are you elite? When it comes to positioning, if you're positioned right, you're going to get paid. If you're not, if you're average, random, and ordinary, people will come at you for the free because you haven't differentiated yourself enough to be at a certain level. So positioning determines if you get paid and how much. And then pitching. How do you bait and attract your target market to you and then close with ease? So that is what rainmaking means to me. Not just getting clients and customers, but really putting yourselves out there and understanding what packaging can do, what positioning can do, and pitching can do. And as you go up this ladder of entrepreneurship, as you go up the ladder of growing from small business to medium sized to large, there are different versions of you that happen. I didn't look this way when I started. I look this way now and imagine what comes over time. So my clients went from training women how to win pitch competitions to Ivy League institutions, like training their students, top HBCUs, PWIs, community colleges. And then I set my sights on tech companies, financial services companies, and real estate, all of which I had no frame of reference for because I'm an English major, art history minor, pre-law, and an attorney. But I knew something that most people didn't know: how to be a world-class master communicator in oral and written form, how to communicate even if people have never met me, and have them seeing me in a different light. So that is what I mean by rainmaking and bringing that into entrepreneurship, not just the service base, not just attorneys, but taking it into the world of entrepreneurship and combining and showing that for a lot of first generation, or if this is your first rodeo, all people will tell you is, oh, it's so easy, do this. And it's like, no, you have to have a strategy. You have to add cunning and precision. And once you understand that, that's why I wrote 5 books, 5 business books, to showcase my talent and being able to understand things that people just assume people know, and they don't.
I love that. I love that. So, here in the sister leaders community, I actually in one of my books talk about. I have a chapter that image is more than a blazer, and so we talk about packaging and positioning oneself in corporate, and so that kind of was a good segue into our corporate professionals. We have a combined community here of entrepreneurs and corporate professionals, and some of our corporate professionals, after a couple of decades in business, they move on to become entrepreneurs. But for pitching, there are different types of pitches. And if you could, being the expert that you are, I believe, and you can tell me if I failed the pop quiz, but I think there are 5 different types of pitches. Is there 5?
There's
I don't fail.
6.
Man, I'm a B
No,
student
but
then.
you was close, Queen, because some people only
Yes.
know 2.
No, that's right. So tell us about the difference between what is entailed in a corporate pitch for a corporate professional who's vying for the next position up, and an entrepreneur who is trying to gather potential clients for their products or services.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer those questions, but first I need for everyone to understand the 6 different types of pitches. So you have your elevator pitch. Many of us are going to networking events, and so you under a short timetable to be able to, get people interested in who you are and what it is that you do, and maybe hire you or refer you. And then you have your elevator pitch. You have your media pitch. Some of us made it off the strength of what we were able to introduce that was new and a fresh viewpoint to the media. And that puts you in front of a different type of audience, right? Then you have your investor pitch. So if you're seeking funding for your company and you're looking for angel investors, or maybe venture capital, or maybe getting money from your family and friends, or crowdfunding, this is where those investor pitches come in, where you truly have to make a compelling case, marrying story, that you're the right jockey for the horse, that you understand facts, figures, and statistics, and can meld them in a way that makes them want to bet on you and what funds you. Then you have your speaker pitch, which I've been a speaker for 29 years this year. I'm 45, so I've been doing this since I was 16. And there's so many times that people will approach speakers and we don't have a budget. We don't have anything. Okay, that was cute when I was just starting out. But I'm the killer pitch master and the ultimate rainmaker, and I can run down my credentials. So to even talk to me now, that's how I had to get into elite status, right? So How do you differentiate yourself in a world of all of these speakers to be known specifically for one, two, or three things? And you become the only choice that matters, right? So I'm known for pitching. Now it's sales, business development, and client acquisition. And being able to cut through the clutter and noise of what the world thinks speakers do, which is motivational speaking, and really go like ham and cheese and go deeper so that the funnel is so much smaller. There's a smaller number of people to choose from. And you can write your own ticket on that, right? So that's why I focus on corporate clients, which allows me to be able to speak to nonprofits or speak to other groups at a discounted rate because the corporations are paying me much higher. Then you have your interview pitch. And that's usually for those who are looking to apply for internships, fellowships, jobs, all those sort of things. So what you put on the application versus what you say when you're in the interview. So the application is like that weeding out process. In the interview, what are you truly going to say that's beyond, I'm diligent, I'm hardworking, oh my goodness, I look for, like, nobody cares. Everybody says that. But what is something that you cut through that and make it, ooh, there's something unique here that's beyond, oh, we read on your website and this is the thing. No. This person is a cut above because they didn't say all the things everybody else says. And then you have your sales pitch. Babe, why should somebody buy from you? Your products, your services. Why should they go to your retreat? Why should they go to your conference? What's going to be different? Or do you sound like everybody else? So those are the 6 different types of pitches. When it comes to our corporate queens, I look at it like this. You may have supervisors, you may have people who are under you in terms of rank and in terms of positions. Sometimes what you have to do is change the narrative around you about your skill set and your talents and your abilities. Some people may only be used to you being in this thing, and you want to change the narrative on how great or how big and how deep your talent really is. Maybe you have a better mousetrap. Maybe you have a better way of seeing a situation that they never thought to include you on. So that requires you to be meeting with people and to be dropping little things in meetings that get, who in your office and who in the company needs to know you deeper than what they can see on social media or just walking past your office. And how do you do it in a deliberate way, right? So that's like a sales pitch. It's like a sales pitch in a way, but you're also plot twisting and flipping the script on who they thought you were. And I've had to do that in entrepreneurship too, right? When you think about it, you need to understand how you're packaged and positioned at where you're working. How do people see you? Do the right people know you? And if they do, what do they know about you? Is it surface? Or are you taking them deeper? Because you want them to say your name for promotions, but they wouldn't if they think they know all there is to know about you. So it is your job to be able to make sure that what are the things you need them to start knowing about you now and planting the seeds. This is not a one-day thing. This is a calculated effort, right? For our entrepreneurs, we all know the elevator pitch, the media pitch, the investor pitch, the sales pitch, the speaker pitch, and the interview pitch. All of those work together too for you. I blew up with Curvy Girls, my first company, through the media pitch and didn't know it. It was through going to an event I could not even afford and pitching to the producers of MSNBC that led me to my first investment in my company, $500,000 live on Your Business with JJ Ramberg, which eventually led to me entering pitch competitions. And who's always at these pitch competitions when there's money in the line? Media, investors, venture capital, angel investors, lay people who I've never heard somebody speak like that. Maybe we can bring her in to speak. So these are things I learned on the job. No one taught me. So I just started paying attention. I'm winning this money, but there are other resources. How do you use them all to your advantage as an entrepreneur? Some of you all may vend. Some of you all may be called to go to certain events and be able to truly articulate your difference maker. And also, why should they hire you, book you, refer you, invest in you, buy from you, and all those sort of things? So pitching to me is not the easiest thing in the world, But once you understand it and you understand how to operate in different rooms, once you teach your network to how to listen for opportunities and pitch you themselves, take them to your LinkedIn, take them to whatever, you'll start to understand that business is so much bigger than you ever thought it is. And you will have VIPs that you can never name, but they know how to pitch you for opportunities. And you're always going to get paid because those people's name and their vetting ensures that you're going to get paid and not get free anything coming at you. The reason why I was on television, the reason why I was in movies and documentaries is because there was something about me that these big time people saw that they didn't see in others and said, we need her, this chocolate drop, not the token, the chocolate drop, who is extremely talented. So use it to your advantage. My final thing, Queen. Our perceived flaws really are a secret weapon. And I say perceive, age, race, class, sex, different ability, disability, all of those things are the things they tell you to hold you back and make you think you can't do certain things. If I did that, I wouldn't be here with you, Queen. I wouldn't be speaking at your conference. I wouldn't be here if I believed the lies that my skin color, my age, my race. I'm 45 years old. I do have 2 disabilities. At the same time, it has not stopped me because no one saw me coming. They were looking for the usual suspect. And while you're looking for the usual suspect, is someone like me and all of us as queens. We come in with a totally different background. You haven't studied our background. So you don't know we can outwit, outplay, and outlast because we've had to do it our whole lives. Whether you're a corporate baddie, a corporate queen, or an entrepreneurial queen who's building an empire, pitching works, but add rainmaking on top of that, and you'll see how you can make the people in your office, the people who are above you and below you, you'll start to understand how packaging and positioning can put you in positions you didn't even think were on the radar, or they weren't on your radar, but other people started seeing you in that light. I hope that answers your question.
I love, yes, that was, you answered my question. So my next question has to do with, I have a branch of my business that's consulting. I do consulting, corporate consulting, as well as group consulting.
Right.
Sometimes when I am talking to individuals in my group consulting, I have owners who want to be behind the scenes. And so they want to put other individuals front and center to pitch their business. And so I've been holding this question for you because it is part of my recipe that the owner and founder in the beginning get out there and sell their business. That's your baby. They need to be able to associate your face with your product or your services. So can you talk a little bit about the importance of in the 5 years or less stage when you're just getting started, of having yourself pitch your product or business as opposed to being behind the scenes, whether you're an introvert or whatever. But there has got to be some advantages and disadvantages to disassociating yourself from your product or services. And what do you feel in terms of that, based on your experience?
Wayne, this is such a loaded question and I love it. Let's go. So when I started Curvy Girls Lingerie, I was told I was too fat, too black, and didn't have an Ivy League degree. And that I had a friend and she looks nothing like me. And we were at the Jacob Javits Center, at a trade show. And here I am trying to sell my stuff, and everyone assumed she was the owner. Mind you, we look nothing alike. But it was people who look like us who assumed she was the owner. And so she took it as, well, you should let me do all the talking because obviously they think it's me. And I was a little incensed by that. And I said, no. Well, Precious, your business is going to fail because obviously your people would rather speak to me. I said, no, you're the anomaly in this room. So sometimes people are used to seeing you and thinking that I'm behind you, but I'm going to need you to get behind me because this is my company. Period. And if it's almost like that when you say, if I fail or if I succeed, at least I did it. So what I learned from that moving forward is I am the killer pitch master. And even with everything that everybody was saying about me, it wasn't until I was speaking in certain places that it became crystal clear that I am gifted and talented in what it is that I do. And if I allow somebody else to take over or be considered the best at considered that, then I have truly lost the battle and I've truly lost the war. I'm sorry, let me just turn that off. I didn't realize I was doing that. So the biggest thing I will say as an entrepreneur, you may be an introvert, you may be an extrovert, you may think that you can't do it. As an entrepreneur, I'm gonna need you to get past that and work with a great coach, a great trainer, because in the beginning, you never know who's going to resonate with your story, of your origin story, who's going to resonate with the things that you may have had to overcome in life to even get there. And if you notice, we hear more about stories first than we hear about the money generated. There's usually a story involved in that. So there's a difference between storytelling and story selling too, right? And so someone selling your story is cool, but they didn't go through the things it took you to get there. I'm lucky in a sense that I've been speaking since I was 16 years old. And I didn't know of anyone who could do what I do at the level I could, to go from poverty to hanging with people who have more money than life, you know? And in each of those journeys, I've had to change and grow in my communication skills. If you acquiesce everything to someone else, it becomes how they see it and not how it really is. Now, I understand people hiring spokespeople after a certain time, right? Because maybe you need influencers, maybe you need something, maybe you do want to take a step back. But in the beginning, and being through a lot of training and programs, I never listened to those who never fought in the trenches with me, who've never been an entrepreneur. And I also never let marketing and branding people make me into something I'm not, right? Because they did tell me to change everything about myself in order to sell, when they didn't understand that women with a little bit more meat on their bones are always told to be something else, because who they are doesn't matter. So I had to be the representative, the client, the president, and all of that, and go against everybody else. And I got to the top by not listening. I listened to the God in me who created me with this purpose to unlock that for other women. As I've grown in my career as a killer pitch master and the ultimate rainmaker, I realize when people think of corporate trainers, they don't usually think of someone who looks like me. What is the challenge in that? No one can outdo me as a trainer in my zone of genius. I can't have someone who doesn't look like me, who's the Instagram Betty. No, you're going to be taught by someone who went through all of these, the objections, all that kind of thing, and just kind of move past it. And I do have a track record. And Queen, I just want to thank you for saying you don't bring people on here who are going to tell fluff, who are going to talk about things, but you can't verify. You can verify everything I've ever done. You can verify that. That's easy. Google me, right? Finally, there will come a time where it might be better to have someone to be the spokesperson. But in the beginning, you're still finding yourself as an entrepreneur. And sometimes we can allow experts and professionals to talk us out of our dream to fit more of what they want or what they think this world needs. But if you've done the research, you've done a lot of things, and they haven't, then they're trying to fit you into a box of their own making or what they're comfortable with, when no one cares about if you're comfortable.
I love that. And as you were talking about people trying to mold people or trying to give information to people to change based on whatever it is, maybe their training, their experience, or whatever. I think about some of the people that I follow, which people may say, you follow that person? The people that I follow that were authentic from day one and made it big, even though they were controversial. And so a couple of the people that I follow in the entertainment world, Cardi B.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Hate it or love it.
Ain't never tried to be nobody from day one. Super, super successful. Been sponsored by major brands, have been on every biggest stage that you can even think of. But from day one, when I first heard of her in reality television, when she was talking about going into music, when she was just doing her thing in the clubs at night, She always was the same. Another person who has been the same, who's in entertainment, Kanye West. Very
Wait, why are you
controversial.
speaking my language? Why
Yes,
are you speaking my language?
very controversial, but is what it is. You take him as he is. He is willing to say what's on his mind and deal with the consequences of the results of it, but it's still going to be his mind. He will establish and put his money behind things that he believes in that others won't sponsor. And so the playbook from, and I'm a big entertainment person. I follow all industries, but those are the big names that I think of immediately, that from day one, you need either like them or love them or don't like them, but they have
But
never
there's a
changed.
reaction.
Yes.
And that's, for me, when you brought up those two specifically, you know, I remember going through one of the hardest times in my life. I was being evicted from this apartment. It was raining, pouring rain. I had this Dusty as a supposed boyfriend, and he just went ghost. And I had to face my landlord, and I had to face by myself. And before I went in that apartment, I mean, it was pouring down rain, and I listened to Stronger. And I thought about his story, and I said, you know, if I ever get out of all of this, what a great story. She can toss me out on the streets. It ain't the first time. It's never going to happen. But I am going to be stronger. And you know what? Eventually, she's going to see my name in lights. And I just had that confidence. Like, I have not a dime in my pocket. Let me say that again. I have a dime in my pocket. I'm about to get bust out and tossed out. He wasn't there. And I listened to Stronger. And I just had this thing, like, you know, you should be honored by my lateness, that I would even show up to, like, and just being like, that's not arrogance. That's like, I put in the time. When he didn't believe in me, when she didn't believe in me, when I wasn't the gangster rapper, I said, I'm coming in with the college dropout. I'm on it. Has he done some questionable things? Who has not? And I just want to be honest with, I like people who are polarizing. As strange as that sounds, but my first book is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. Do you know 3 years went by and people were like, no one's ever gonna buy it, da-da-da. And if it wasn't for Sharon Monet, A Pen Legacy, telling me that title is fuego, fire, you got to put it out. And we put out that first book. I didn't have any hopes on anything. And Ty Goodwin called me and she said, your book is #1 on Amazon at full price. I said, yeah, because we didn't know what else to do. Like, it wasn't even, like, I didn't have to have all the pieces together. And to walk into spaces and now to have companies buy all 5 of my books, from Bad Bitches and Power Pitches all the way to Rainmaking 101, from day one, packaging, positioning, and pitching exposed. Do you see the difference in all of that? I appeal to different audiences. And when I decided that, yeah, I'm in my 40s, I'm in my late 30s, I'm supposed to be put out to pasture and to dry. Baby, this is 45. I'm a full-figure diva and a plus-size fashionista. I don't have to have the Coke bottle shape. Now, if that's what everybody else wants, that's great, but you got to be a difference maker. And Kanye is polarizing. Kanye says a lot on his mind, but he always put his money where his mouth is instead of waiting for everybody else. And that's what I had to do to win pitch competitions. I had to go into places with not a dime, not even a hotel book. I'm going to win, because after that, everything else comes with it, right? So, and Cardi B, I loved her from Bodak Yellow. From Bodak Yellow. Did she do questionable things? I don't know how you can be in entertainment and not, though. I honestly don't know how you can't. And the grace that I see some of us give to people who don't look like us and sweep things under the rug, baby, we didn't come from that environment. So our trajectory is going to be different. However she makes it and however she makes it, it may not be my judge, but I'm going to find a way to make one. Clark Atlanta University, even though I went to Spelman College. Like, I'm going to find a way to make one, and it's not going to be the prettiest. It's not going to be this. But as you check me and hate on me, you know my name. I don't know yours. What's a gnat to a giant?
Oh, that part. I love that part.
You had to bring Jay-Z in there too. You know, I had it. What's a gnat to a giant?
Oh, I love that. I love,
You
he's
gonna talk
another
your
one.
like he said, talk your stuff, talk it.
Yep.
I don't have to listen nor respond because I'm out here doing it. I do have clients and customers. I do have people, like even right now, Quinn. I bet you if I check my email, I bet you there's 2 paid speaking opportunities in there that people want. That didn't happen in the beginning. I had to build that up. I had to make a name for myself as the killer pitch master. I had to become the ultimate rainmaker when it's time to plot, twist, and flip the script. Baby, we're going to make it rain like snow in your business. I'm not playing. And if we got to take a strip club thought and bring it into business, that's what we need to do. Whether you touched $1 million or whether you touched $2.30 today, it is possible. But you're going to have to stop listening to people who ain't never done it. You have to stop listening to people who want you to tiptoe around business. You got to be around those who be like, I'm bold about this. You ain't got to like it now. Let me be very clear. You ain't got to like it, but you watch everything I do, though. And I've never been viral, too. I just want to make sure that's clear. I've never been viral. And that's okay.
Love, love, love that. So as we are coming to a close, because she can't give you everything, because we don't
Gotta
even
come
have
to the
time.
conference because I'm about to light it up.
I know that's right, but you're gonna have to say some because, of course, Precious is one of the keynote speakers for the upcoming Sister Leaders Conference, October 4th and 5th at the Great Rivers Casino in Portsmouth, Virginia. And so this year our theme is more. Women deserve to be seen more, heard more, and paid more. And so, Precious, I want you to, as we close out, tell the Sister Leaders podcast community how they can stay in contact with you. If you have anything going on, you got any specials, you selling anything, can we meet you somewhere? Whatever it is that you want to share. And then also talk about what they can expect from you at the conference.
All right. So I'm gonna give my contact information first. Again, my queens and probably some kings gonna watch this too. My name is Precious Williams. I'm the proud founder and CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group. Perfect Pitch Group. And our website is www.perfectpitchgroup.com. As you know, I train sales teams, entrepreneurs, speakers, authors, coaches, and consultants, and we specialize in all forms of pitching and becoming a rainmaker in your business, right? And so you can check me out on LinkedIn. I'm under Precious L. Williams. You'll see, I changed my hair like I changed my underwear. That's how you know it's really Precious Williams. On Facebook, I am Precious KillerPitchMaster Williams. And on Instagram, we are at Perfect Pitch Group. What I really love about what we do at the Perfect Pitch Group is we have free gifts. We have free gifts. So if you want the first chapter of my fifth number one bestselling book, Rainmaking 101 from Day One, Packaging, Positioning, and Pitching. And if you want my PDF on Make It Rain Like Snow in Your Business, go to www.perfectpitchgroup.com/free-gifts. If you are interested in becoming a part of our community, we have the Pitch Bold Profit Gold community. So I'm going to speak to my queens right now. Isn't it time that you're not just defined by your business goals? I lived most of my life. My professional life was dope, but my personal life was trash because I focused more on my business and thinking that my achievements and my accomplishments are all the things that mattered. But that didn't keep me off my deathbed. That didn't keep me from feeling lonely and everything like that. When I started to focus on making my personal life and living the life I actually wanted, where I was focused on my relationships with my family, who I was estranged from for years, focusing on the queens in my life and letting them see the real me beyond the killer pitch master. I'm just Precious, regular degler like Cardi B. I'm regular degler with extraordinary talent. I was able to laugh with my parents, which I've never been able to do in my life because they never wanted me. And now it's different. I've been able to have solid relationships with queens who are entrepreneurs, corporate baddies, and all these sort of things. And I also just wanted to break bread and take the mask off. So if you want to be a part of a community called Pitch Bold, Profit Gold, I want you to pitch bold in every aspect of your life and profit gold. So to join that or to check that out, you can go to perfectpitchgroup.com/pitchbold profit. Go to check out what we're doing. Of course, we have events. Of course, we're going to have a retreat in 2025. But more importantly, the focus is on both aspects of your life, the personal and the professional, because they both matter. So come be a part of our elite group. Finally, I've written 5 #1 best-selling books. You can definitely check all of those out on my website, from Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, from Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only, to the Workbook Companion, to Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to convert conversations into currency. And then you have The Pitch Queen, A Woman's Journey from Poverty to Purpose and Profits. And finally, Rainmaking 101 from Day One, Packaging, Positioning, and Pitching Exposed. You can find those all on my website. And what I want you all to know about what to expect at this conference. What we did today is light work, but I'm gonna go ham and cheese and peanut butter and jelly on that stage and show you why it's important to value yourself enough to ask for what you deserve, and to do it with the confidence and clarity that you can walk away from any situation that does not serve you. In fact, it will make people have more respect for you, and it'll make them come to the table with a better offer. Us being sisters is not a death sentence. In fact, it's like a life giver. So we should be supporting sisters who are doing it, even if they're doing it in a totally different way. To be told I was too fat, too black, and no Ivy League degree did not stop me from being on Shark Tank and making the sharks want to invest harder in me, because there are no limits. And when you come to this conference, you're gonna be hearing from keynote and queens who have done it, fought the good fight, fought every battle that you're facing and going to face, and lived to thrive through it. I'll share some of my story, but also I think it's important to show tactics and techniques that they don't write in books, that they don't put on the news, that they don't put on social media, that you will only get at this conference. And I would rather know the secrets that everybody else can't get, but you got to be in the room. And so, yeah, we're going to talk about that negotiation internally, the negotiation externally, but more importantly, write your own paycheck, and it should be bigger than anything you've ever seen before. And it is a process, but it's time for you to pitch bold, profit, go. It's time for you to get this work at the Sister Leagues Conference. And it's also time for you to step up boldly and walk up to the very women you want to speak to and make your voice heard and known, because you never know who's going to make a call and pitch you for profit. My name is Precious Williams. I am the proud founder and CEO of the Perfect Pitch Group, 13-time National Elevator Pitch Champion, five-time #1 best-selling author, international professional speaker, top Fortune 100 corporate sales trainer, full-figure diva, plus-size fashionista, the female MacGyver of business. There is nothing, like Usher said, no limits, baby.
Love it, love it, love it. And I don't have anything to add, because we're just going to end with fire. The only thing I'm going to do is tell you to get your conference ticket. Go to sisterleaders with an S conference.com. And Precious and I will see you there. Bye.
Bye.